Hanna Gerlander.
I almost just said I'm Hanna Gerlander. I'm Nora Fried.
That was cute that first time we did it, though. That was
like do it again?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Hanna Gerlander.
And I'm Nora Fried.
And you're listening to High Heels and Punchlines. Sex and the City rewatch. I did not sleep last night. I'm so sorry.
And you were
sick. Yeah.
Wait, we haven't brought you guys in.
No.
Ignore us. Sorry.
I'm not Hanna Gerlander. I'm Nora Fried.
And I'm Hanna Gerlander, and we do have two really big guests.
Huge guests.
Who we told we were gonna chat for a second first, but I guess we'll bring them on.
Yes.
It's actually kind of odd that we're having both of you guys on at the same time, but I think it's going to be a really fun episode because I feel like
I don't think it's odd. I think we all right. I think it's going to be a little chaotic.
Yeah.
A little chaos, but that's always a good thing.
I feel like in the world of the podcast, Wolf should have maybe come on his own at some point.
That's okay.
Because I talk about him all the time.
Yeah.
So I'll introduce our first guest.
We'll start talking about Noah after this episode all the time.
We'll get you in the circle.
Yeah.
To my left, huge guest, talked about all the time, compared. He's literally wearing the shirt. This was his idea. He's wearing this iconic Steve shirt. Literally, this is a sad episode to compare him to this, but literally the Steve to my Miranda, my boyfriend, Wolfgang Hunter.
Hi, everybody. It's good to be here.
Is on the podcast. He watched the episode with me, insisted on taking no notes.
Homework is done. We don't do homework anymore.
This isn't homework. It's like taking notes to be on my podcast.
I know, but I enjoy watching TV and I don't enjoy it.
I like research. It gives you a richer feel for the episode.
You're already turning on me this quick into the podcast. Okay. You're supposed to be the equalizer here. I need backup. I said, bro, I need backup on this episode.
This is kind of like the devil and the angel.
Yeah, this is angel.
When girls are like, what should I be looking for? Okay, we're just kidding.
We also have another guest with us who's a local comedian. Should I say local? Sorry. We're all local here, right? Yeah. But international as well.
It's the Mecca of
sometimes. Noah has been, sorry, I'm really unwell right now. Noah, you're here. We're so happy to have you.
Noah has been here.
Noah has been here.
Yes.
We love you. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you guys. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Noah's a great comedian. We talked Mike with you a couple weeks ago. I feel like,
good fun.
Yeah, we should talk about what happened after that, Mike. That was really weird.
Is it the one where you think
No. Don't.
Our friend got yelled
at.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, come on.
Wait. Actually, I kind of feel like we should keep in mind this moment to take out.
Okay.
Because she listens.
Okay.
So
I shouldn't have brought it up.
This is problem one. Okay.
Why is everybody looking at me like I just said?
Well, 3 strikes?
I'll leave right now. I'll walk out.
Now, this will be the restart.
Okay,
so now we actually watch it.
Okay,
so we always ask our guests what their history with Sex and the City is. Like,
yes.
Are you watching it for the first time right now? Did you watch it growing up? Did you only watch this episode? Noah can go first.
So I would watch bits and pieces with my mom growing up.
That's nice.
Because she loved it.
Weird show.
Weird show, but I would watch Bravo with her, and then she'd change the channel and forget that I was watching with her.
This is why. That's like the making of a great guy. Watching Bravo with your mom. That's really
I was because my brother would watch football with my dad, and then I'd watch Bravo with my mom.
How did that split happen?
I was more of a mama's boy, and then my brother was more into sports, so he'd watch with my dad, and I'd be up in bedroom watch Bravo, so I'd be up there.
What shows?
Real Housewives.
What franchise?
Oh man, well, New Jersey.
Yes.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Nice, my daughters.
I never.
Sorry.
Do you know what we're talking about?
When she flips the table?
Yes. It's been a while. It's been a while. And then
Sorry, I'm having Tourette's. Sorry. I didn't sleep last night, and I was really sick.
These are the best episodes of Nora.
When I don't sleep, or if I'm on a weird medication, they're the best ones. I'm not on the weird medication anymore. It was for my.
Well, you offered me Lexapro before this because I forgot to take mine this morning.
I did offer you a little Lexapro.
I would never take Lexapro from somebody else.
Really?
Yeah, because I would feel bad. Because it's
No, it's a pharmacy up in here, honey.
Oh, really? All right, I might take some after this.
No,
She's really generous.
what's going on? You watch Sex and the City.
I
with your mom.
would watch bits and pieces, and then my girlfriend watches it sometimes.
Amazing. Girlfriend also listens to the podcast.
And
Listens to
she's the
podcasts.
photographer for all of our
live
shows,
shows.
and
Yes.
she does a great job. And we'll link to her profile after this,
Yes.
so that you can hire her for your photography needs as well.
Yeah.
Please do. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll watch it with her sometimes. And I like the show. Like, I think they're fun. I love.
It's a good show, especially when you're in New York. It's
Yeah.
like really relatable.
Yeah.
And like, how long were you single in New York for?
So I moved here in October 2021. I was in like an open relationship with somebody.
Oh my
Open
God.
long distance. Yeah.
Oh,
I
wait,
remember that.
Yeah.
I feel like I met you when that was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow,
Yeah, we met at
that's
the tail
crazy.
end.
That was like Tits the Glass open mic days.
Yes. You met
God.
her, and then I was dating another girl right after, and we dated for like 3 months. And then I was like single for months. And months.
I was single for like 8 years in a row.
It's crazy.
I don't
when
know,
you
months
come to New
were too
York and
hard
you're
on
like,
it.
yeah, I was single for like a couple months there. It's
No, like,
Yeah.
how long were you in New York and now you're with your soulmate, Wolf? It was
God,
you were
time
like,
just flies by.
he was like single in New York for like what, like 8 months, and now he's literally engaged. Like, we're married. That's crazy.
Yeah, it kind of came at a good time. You know, we'll get into that with the light bulb theory, but
Oh.
What's the light bulb?
oh,
Did you
Mr.
not-
didn't have to
The
take
light
any
is on.
notes. Boom. Fuck notes.
Yeah, my man.
What am I, some blue?
Okay. So wait,
Getting too wolf
what's
thing.
your story with Sex and the City?
Oh, I remember the light bulb.
Taxi.
The taxi.
I had heard about it growing up. Like, my mom didn't really watch it.
What did your mom watch
My
growing up?
mom watched like X Files. That was like her show. She liked a lot of
Did
like.
she ever like Real Housewives?
No, my mom doesn't like
She'd
reality
love that.
TV.
Really?
She'd be great in
She'd
that
be
show.
a star.
I think the people
Yeah.
who would be
My mom's
good on
creepy.
reality TV
Don't
don't watch it.
Yeah.
They don't know.
No, like,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
yeah.
have you ever talked about the Pup Cup video that she sent us?
That's the you really need to start listening to the podcast. That's like the lowest on the list of stories of your mother that I've said.
Oh, okay.
I never share bad ones, but
Okay.
like our vacation when I came back from that, like
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
like
That was a whole episode.
There was
That's what I
some.
learned,
She did
like,
some
your mom was
very
made for
zany.
television.
Yeah, she did some very.
Your mom
zany
reminds
stuff.
me of myself a lot. Every time Hannah tells a story about your mom, I'm like, I literally would do
She
that.
does like to push pills.
she's a pill push. I literally said I didn't feel well, and then I went back to my room on our like group family vacation. She had like
Yeah.
loose pills out on the
We
nightstand
talked about
for me.
the-
Oh, it's like when you're at a hotel and they leave like chocolates. on
She
the
left
pillow.
like pills.
Yeah.
She was like, "Take." I was like, "What are they?" She's like, "You'll feel great." I'm like,
Yeah.
"What?" And I don't
But-
take anything.
Did you?
Remember when I gave
Did
you
you
that
talk about
pillow
the
and you said it
Valium?
was amazing?
Everyone knows that I carry Valium on me. That's
My
for
emergency
you
Valium.
to take.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't want you having it. I have
But
to
remember when I
distribute it.
gave you that pill when you had a headache and you were like, wow.
That was amazing.
Mhm.
And I had a
Give her
terrible headache the
naproxen.
other night.
Naproxen.
It was no
Is that a
joke.
painkiller?
Oh yeah. It's a big one. It's for migraines. I get really
No.
bad migraines.
Oh,
I've
no.
never
I
had
did
a
a couple
Yeah.
episodes where I was on Topamax, which was this other migraine medication,
You know
but
about
it made me
Topamax?
No.
completely out of my mind.
It's
Really?
actually
And it was actually really creepy, and like I almost like lost my job. Like it was so bad.
Really?
So then
oh, were you
we-
just like spacey?
I was so spacey. I was like, it was as if I was like fucked up all the time.
She
Yeah.
had lipstick on her teeth while we were recording, and this was at a different studio, like not here. So
Yeah.
she was like farther away. There was a table
Oh,
between
I think I
us.
saw a clip of that.
Yeah, and I was
It
like,
was
"Oh, you have a
really
little
bad.
lipstick on your teeth." She goes, "Really? Come get it." And I was like, "No."
It's like really, I don't. But then I looked it up, and people were like, "Topamax ruined my life." And
Yeah.
so I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna not take this anymore and
Oh
just
my
get migraines."
god.
So now I just
Guys
get
from
the
Topamax?
I might
be careful.
have it,
Be
but it's a
careful.
little wacky. It doesn't make you feel good. It makes you feel like you have like Alzheimer's.
Really?
Yeah.
Never
so
like
if you
one
ever
ever
want-
that's like.
Yeah, it's like a
I
test.
get to live in my grandma's shoes for a day.
Yeah, live
That
in
made me
grandma's
more
shoes.
empathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem pretty empathetic though, so
Oh, yeah, I try.
you don't really.
Yeah.
Need that. Okay, so wait, we normally ask when girls are on what girl they connect to.
Mm.
But I guess in this case, like, is there a guy on the show you connect to / a girl? You can connect to a girl, or you can tell us what girl you want to be with.
Okay.
We asked about that once.
If we're gonna go girl, I connected with Charlotte just because she's like fun,
Nice,
likes, yeah, like
I'm 100% a Charlotte.
yeah, just enjoys life, doesn't understand why people are mean.
I was also gonna say Charlotte.
You feel like a Charlotte.
You're
No, I'm kidding.
You're not one of the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolf's a little Samantha.
A loose cannon,
Yeah.
Samantha.
I was gonna say Samantha.
if I was one of the girls.
Yeah. I felt myself, unfortunately, connecting with Steve in a lot of ways. I took a note about it. How, like, when he's watching
Scooby-Doo
during the argument, she tells him to look away. I've done that in an argument with, like, we'll be watching something, she's trying to have a conversation. She's like, can you not watch this? And I'm like, I put the show on.
I put it on already.
I wanted to watch the show.
Dude, she did that the other day when I was playing Assassin's Creed.
Because, like, when are you not playing Assassin's Creed?
Fun
it's like,
fact,
there's no room to talk about anything.
It's a good game.
It's good. I have almost all the platinum trophies.
Wait, can I just say really quick? Our listeners, really quick about
Our-
Assassin's Creed is that it's so embarrassing.
What's Assassin's Creed?
It's a video game. The guys in it are like, please help me. And Wolf's like, I can't talk right now. They need my
Italian
help.
slander?
It's so
Whatever. I told her she was being anti-Italian,
Yeah.
and it was gross. It looked gross on you.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's like really hard.
Curse on you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what girl would you
Fun
want to be
fact,
with?
though, with Scooby-Doo, real quick. Sorry. The episode that he describes isn't the episode that's on the TV.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Fun fact. All right,
Wow.
caught him.
Yeah.
Caught him.
Wow.
Gotcha.
He did. Steve, the actor that played Steve, did not build his character adequately.
Honestly, though, I could see Steve also mistake. That plays well into his character. Because he
Yeah.
doesn't even know which episode it is.
Yeah.
He's just
like,
mindlessly
he's
watching.
like the guy with the ghost.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not the
It's
ghost
not the ghost,
episode
yeah.
if you look
I do want to
closely.
say, though, I'm
So-
surprised
That's the
you
one where the
resonate
chicken
with
thinks it's a
Steve.
I don't know which episode it was.
We don't
That is a
know.
fun fact.
I feel like you're more of an Aiden. You don't resonate with him in this special, and maybe in this episode, I guess he's not showing.
I
us.
resonate with Aiden's style.
Oh, the dog walking outfit?
Yeah,
With the
holy
rose
Right
shit.
now, you have enough.
How great is that fucking...
That was amazing.
Some of the outfits are really good, and some of them are really bad. There's
fucking...
a pantsuit Miranda was wearing where I was like, what is she, Hillary Clinton?
I took note of that pantsuit. Troy? Trent?
Yeah,
Is it
Hannah
Trent?
called
it's
him, Hannah called him
Trent.
Trent the other day.
Oh, okay.
He
She was
appeared
like,
for the first time,
She
and
was
I was
like,
like,
this is a huge
Trent.
episode. Trent's here. And
Trace?
I was like, no, Trent is.
Kyle MacLachlan.
Kyle MacLachlan. I wrote down Kyle MacLachlan is the only man who can pull off those shitty fucking button downs that he's wearing.
He looks really good.
He looks really good, but there's such late 90s, early 2000s button downs. Just that disgusting, I think it's
that
puce,
face
that
and
green.
hair makes up for a lot.
The face and hair makes up for a lot. Also, he's just like effortlessly charming.
Yeah. Which is, do you
he's
know
got a strong
what ends
jaw.
up happening with him in the show?
They get married.
I've seen the episode where she goes to dinner with his mom and him, and like the arm touching. And are you guys? Is that something that happens later on? Am I
we know.
spoiling anything?
Oh, no,
It's
it's okay.
fine,
We
it's
jumped
fine.
ahead a little bit.
Oh, okay.
We're assuming anyone listening,
Has seen
there's
the
no
show.
spoilers. This was out like 25 years ago.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of on you if you haven't.
Yeah, of
Did
course.
I ever tell you that my acting teacher was in the first episode?
Really?
Mhm.
Who?
His name is Bruce McCarthy. He was the angry New Yorker in the pilot
Oh.
episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So which character do you relate to?
Which
Which lady?
lady?
Lady, I think Samantha.
Like, yeah, I mean, I guess if I was like,
Like said
because
it before.
I guess,
Sorry,
yeah,
that's
if you're gonna
what we're
put words in
talking.
my mouth, Samantha. I mean, if I'm picking a character in the show, regardless of gender, I guess I vibe with Steve. He's a bartender and he's a hooper like me. Unlike Steve, I could dunk at one point, but you know.
Could you actually dunk?
Yeah, I could jump really high when I was
That's pretty sick.
in high school. Cause
You really couldn't though right now.
No, I haven't like worked out or done like any because I was doing weight training for track because I was gonna try to run Division I track in college. But
We
then
should
I didn't.
race.
No, I blew out my hamstring.
So I guess I.
Wait, you were gonna try to run Division I? Like, were you?
I was fat.
Were
I
you
could-
a senior.
I was
like,
a
in the
senior.
track,
I ran the quarter mile in 48 seconds, and I ran the half mile in like a minute
Should bring an Orange
57.
Theory.
I
Oh,
can't do
holy
it
shit.
anymore.
A minute 57
7.
half mile?
Yeah, that's not too fast in terms of competitive, because there was guys at state that ran like a 145.
That's crazy.
You know, do you remember the last time I heard this story?
When?
Do you remember when that happened with Aaron?
No.
His friend Aaron came in to visit us,
Mm-hmm.
and I had just
Ransom?
beat my personal record of running the mile.
Oh, I told her my mile time.
It was
I-
the rudest thing I've ever seen. I literally,
Yeah.
Aaron, I was like, just got back from work class. I was like, I just beat my record. I ran the mile in like 7 minutes and 20 seconds. And then Wolf literally stands in front of me and goes, Aaron, like, watch this. This is like my time from high school. It was the most insane thing. And then I was like, is anyone seeing? And Aaron was like, that was really weird. Dude.
Yeah.
This is
That's just a crazy
This makes me look
instinct.
bad until I say it was a 4:44.
No, it's like, what did it have to do with that moment?
I was proud of it, and I forgot.
It's good to be proud of it, but that's like showing a guy at a bar your huddle tape. Like that.
Yeah.
It's also like, you didn't even like nobody had reacted to my time. It was like, we have to get.
I thought your time was amazing.
I remember I texted you, and I told Claire, and I told my mom.
That's really impressive.
My mom didn't really have like a good.
I have such a tough time breaking like a 10-minute mile.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. I get really competitive once something is happening.
Yeah.
So it's like leading up to things, I'm like, all right, we'll see. And then I'm running it, and everyone's running it next to me, and I see everyone adding speed. And I'm like, okay, I definitely wouldn't die if I kept going faster. And then it's like, once you're going faster, it's like, okay, now you're closer to it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I naturally could run outside that mile. It might have been the environment and the other people.
I think if you were in a race, I think the idea of people passing you and like getting it far ahead of you, you would get mad.
So Carrie's why don't you do the highlights?
So we watched season 3, episode 8, The Big Time.
Yeah.
Here are the highlights from the episode, a refresher. Samantha fears she's approaching menopause. Steve wants Miranda to have a baby, which
but
unfolds.
then they get a dog.
No, in this part, I just kind of like do the highlights. And
Okay.
do it.
Yeah, you really just try to prove to them you're a Miranda, huh?
No, like this is like I told you how like the episode goes. Like we go over the highlights.
I mean, I love the little.
Steve wants Miranda to have a baby, which leads to a whole thing. Trey tells Charlotte that he loves her, and Big pays Carrie a visit to basically say nothing, just like fuck up her whole situation. And we start by answering Carrie's question, which is timing everything in relationships?
What do you think about that?
I think it's a big part of it because I've been in relationships where it's like, oh, I really like this person, but it just doesn't make sense right now.
Really?
Does that make sense?
Wait, so they're telling the truth when they say that?
Well, I think I don't think every time.
It's just Malcolm.
No,
Gladwell.
when they're like the guys
Yeah.
like are like, I'm sorry, I really like you. It's just right now I'm like really fucked up. I need to get sober.
I think sometimes
it's timing and preparation, you know.
Huh?
that example feels like
That's how
I need to get sober, and that feels like true.
That's how everything works. It's
Everyone needs to get sober.
No. Some people need to stay drunk. Honestly,
Okay.
I have friends that if they got sober, I would probably stop hanging out with them.
I think people said that about me. Okay. Anyways, timing. So it is true.
I think sometimes. I'm not going to say every time people say it, but
he was being.
I think that there are times when it is kind of like like just now is not the right time. Because I have friends who it's like, I'd really like to be in a relationship with this person, but I just got out of a relationship and I don't feel like ready to be in another one. I think that's like a big part.
I disagree with the theory though that it's just like guys at this set point where they like decide that they want to be with somebody now. I think it's like I've had plenty of times where I felt like I was ready for a relationship, but the person really just was not a good fit, you know.
Yeah.
So you're referring to Miranda's the light is on theory.
I didn't agree with that either.
So Miranda in this episode says that like men, like they're debating like, why am I single? Why aren't I married? Like, how do you get a guy to want to marry you, want to commit with you? And Miranda says it's all about timing. You just need to wait for their light to be on. There's no like magic. There's no true love.
I think it makes sense for Miranda.
I was gonna like finish saying her theory for anyone who didn't watch the episode.
Yeah.
Like she's saying that when a man decides like, I'm older, I need to settle down, I need to have kids, the next woman he hits it off with, he'll just marry her. And Charlotte kind of disputes it with like, no, like you don't need to be ready, but when you meet the right person, you'll just do that no matter what.
I agree with that. I don't think that always works out, but I don't think like that's such a fucking
there's a type of man that is like that, and it's like that's a shallow, vapid man you don't want to be with. But that's like who she works with. She works with lawyers.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. That's why like everything she's exposed to is guys like that.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, I was saying to you, like I think it's funny that you disagree with this because I feel like I am such the light theory.
Really?
Like I for so long was like dating around, didn't want anything serious, men want stuff from me, I was not interested. And then I decided I wanted to be in something serious. And obviously, like, Wolf is, like, the best partner I could ever ask for. And I think we work so great together and I love my life with you. But you're also, I was available. I was telling men I was available. And then you were the first relationship I had from telling people, like, I want to be in a serious relationship.
Yeah, but
where if you had met me a year before, that wouldn't have happened. I was not.
No,
my light was not.
I
on.
was Steved you.
Steve and her literally break up in this episode, so I don't know.
And we've literally broken up before too.
Yeah.
But the way they describe
but not real. Not real.
The way they describe it in this episode sounds more like settling.
What's real?
Like the light theory kind of the way that they described it in the episode, and this isn't like me describing like you're like what you were just talking about with yourself, but like the way they talk about it, it's like, oh, that just sounds like depressed. Like you're just like, oh, I'm open. Next guy.
Yeah,
I'm
it makes
down,
it like
man.
a game of musical chairs.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, even if you don't like him, that sucks.
Yeah, you should look at like things as like who you're gonna be with when the music stops.
And I guess it makes more sense through the lens of a guy, because I do feel like specifically in the show with what we're seeing with Mr. Big, which I don't know if you guys know, but like him and Carrie were together and then they broke up and then he's like now dating a woman like half his age and they immediately got married. In this show, it does feel like there's like Big did that. He decided he wanted to get married. The next girl in his life he clearly doesn't like. He's literally at Carrie's door, but he was like, it's that time of my life.
Yeah, but
so
Big is also like a vapid man.
Yeah. You think Big is bad?
I think Big is bad.
I think like I don't know his character arc. I mean, it's fully possible. Just his bank account, I guess.
Definitely his bank account.
Do you know Ron Galati?
Is it short for something? Is it like his name like Big Bird?
Do you know
like
Ron Galati?
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
The guy with the ponytail?
No, that was Len. Which I have a lot to say about Len. That was the fact that she just fuck Len and was downstairs. I was like, I'm already having so many issues with my neighbor.
Hannah, but that's like that is a very
let her finish.
Like we think about all. He doesn't listen to this, but like my neighbor, we've been back and forth about whether or not we shook up. She just like went for Len with no problem, and she's gonna come back home, and Len's gonna be there. Like she didn't even like think about it.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, it's like, if I hooked up with my neighbor, then like what would happen? Would we still carry out my Amazon boxes?
I think that's upsetting though, because people
but
do
it's just
stuff.
like it just feels like it's a very risky decision that she just was very flippant about. She was like, oh yeah, I'll just fuck my neighbor.
But I feel like she also has the kind of money where it's like, I'll get a new apartment.
Yeah.
I also feel like she's like, I'm never gonna talk to him again.
Yeah.
And I feel like she also has the confidence and like intenseness to be like, oh, we shouldn't have fucked. Do not speak to me at the mailroom.
Yeah.
Where like that's not your vibe at all. And you want to talk to him.
Can I also say the fucking camera work to reveal the ponytail?
That was
incredible.
That was
incredible. I was like, oh, there's a guy with normal hair, and then like it's a back shot of his head, and I'm like, holy fucking shit.
I was so
mad
she slept with him though. Like I was so mad she slept with him. Like I hate when they do this sometimes with Samantha, where she's this like confident, in charge, independent woman who like doesn't settle, whatever, and then like something so, which is relatable, like you know, you want to be this confident, independent woman, and then like, you know, let's be real, you think you're going through menopause, you know, you have like a little bit of a meltdown.
I was going to ask you, do you think about menopause a lot? Because I don't until right now.
No.
Okay.
I think also that does show that she.
I feel like I do.
Why? No, it's like in your 50s.
I know, but it's
the funny
you're not gonna.
Well, the funny part is
I'm just. No, I know I'm not getting menopause right now, but like I'll have to think about it before you.
Menopause?
Huh?
Was that like a big thing in your household?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Do you guys remember when your mom went through menopause?
Yeah,
my mom had to
have a hysterectomy, and she would complain about having to take like estrogen patches all the time for hot flashes.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I didn't know she went through that. I
complaining. Oh, mom.
Mom about this hysterectomy.
I definitely I noticed like a shift, but we didn't like talk about it. But then now it's like she doesn't get her period, so I'm assuming.
I think I don't. She never talked to me and my brother about that, just because I think it was like.
I'm like only talked about
boys.
I think that's a thing that
boys.
Like,
I have to sit down with you.
Yeah.
There's
women like hide menopause. I wish she had been more open about it. Like I'm gonna be open about it.
My mom would turn off the TV because it was time for her to read her menopause book in the living room.
That's really cool.
What's a menopause book?
It was a book called like The Change.
Oh, The Change. That is something I would
read. Like a werewolf.
It was like I don't know. And my mom had me when she was 41, so I was pretty young when she went through menopause.
Okay.
So I truly was like, I don't know what's happening.
You're probably like 15 or 16 when like she.
I was like 11.
Oh, you were 11.
It was kind of early, 51. I
How early does menopause hit?
It's 50s into 60s is when it gets going.
Oh, okay. But I think so to Samantha's, I think that does show that like she's more it gives her more of a personality
A
than to
human
just
side.
be a monolith of confidence and all that. Like, she is insecure, and like
Yeah.
she does have like.
Well, she's kind of epitomizes Oscar Wilde's whole thing of like the beautiful woman dies two deaths, sort of. Where it's like,
Speak more on that.
well, there's the little death.
Speak more on
you
that for
have.
those here who may not have read Oscar Wilde.
Well, you
Definitely not me.
That was like such a brag to throw at him.
All right.
I know
Don't
what's
know.
going on here. Keep going.
No, we're impressed. We're
Listen,
here.
okay. You said I needed to take notes. I'm showing you that I don't.
Tell us about Oscar Wilde.
Well, he was a gay man in Victorian London.
Yeah,
But
as we know.
he wrote a lot of very cutting and biting things about kind of just the
Yeah.
idiosyncrasies of like London aristocracy.
But the two deaths, what's...
But the two deaths, well, basically, a vain, beautiful woman like has to come to terms with before everybody comes to terms with that they die, but they also have to come to terms with the death of beauty that they might experience a little death before they actually die. Where it's like they have to kind of mourn the person that they were. You know, people don't ogle
Well, also
them.
because of like society.
Yeah.
Society tells women they're only valuable.
I think also he was hitting on like something that like
She said she was over the hill. and,
Yeah,
you
but
know.
it's also as like women, you become you get erased through through old age, whereas men kind of get put on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Like
it's like the Hollywood
It's
thing where it's
inverse,
like, yeah.
When you're like a boy, you're nothing, but then you become a man and you have like this inflated sense of value.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, even Len was having a nice time, you
Yeah.
know, and he like
Yeah.
Len got with
out.
Samantha. That's a huge win for Len.
It is a huge win
You
for
know?
Len, and I'm
also
glad. But
Len's
I'm also,
room was a little.
But
I'm kind
Len
of
has
glad
money.
we're doing the
'cause
sheets.
he's-
I was like,
yeah,
this is
2000.
Sorry, I just said
Does
fruity.
he appear again in the show?
No,
No.
but he's
That's
all
a
over
show
Law
this
and
year.
Order. Do you remember him?
Oh,
on
is he
Law and
really?
Order?
I never watched.
Yeah.
I never watched Law and Orders.
Me neither.
Any of those
really?
growing up.
Oh,
yeah.
we should all watch it.
My mom
sometime.
watched
That's
that a
me
bunch
too.
of times.
Yeah, it's really good.
I've heard.
Okay, what girl do we want to get
I would
into?
watch
I
Band of
have a
Brothers.
question. How do you feel? Okay, wait. Would you give someone a Cartier watch who you hadn't had sex with?
If I could afford one.
I don't know. That's such a fuck. It's so out of
Sell
the realm of possibility of something I can do for somebody.
I guess a better question would be, would I give somebody a gift?
Would
no,
I?
but
I
a Cartier
haven't
watch
said
is really specific.
Cartier watch.
That's
Well, but
engraved.
yeah, but
Well, I
he's
guess
not
it's like,
even
what's
giving
the?
a
I never
gift
really
to someone who's had
understood
sex with him.
the intention
Cartier
of getting
watch, I
the
feel like
watch.
it's
Is it
definitely-
like?
Well, but like,
Do you feel like you can say "I love you" to someone who you haven't fucked yet? That's another
I
question.
said I love you to all my friends.
No.
Well,
you
but-
know what I mean.
Yeah,
Come on.
I love you, Noah.
I love you
No,
too.
you guys,
Thanks, man.
enough.
I love you. man.
Okay.
Thank you.
What
I
I'm
love you too. I don't know why that was my reaction. Thank you.
What I'm
Thank
saying
you.
is like
Rude.
the way that Trey is like gifting to Charlotte and all this stuff, and he hasn't even like hooked up with her yet.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why he's trying to. I was trying to figure out his intentions. I was like, it seemed to me like a love bomb almost, where he's like,
Yeah.
the man is trying to get himself some Charlotte pie.
Yeah, that's the thing. And maybe it's because I haven't seen enough. I haven't seen forward enough. Does Trey come out to just be like, oh, I just wanted to fuck? Like,
No, he comes out to be
No.
like just the worst husband
He
you've
just,
ever
like-
oh, really?
Oh,
Oh, so they do get married.
They get
Yes.
married.
And
I think
it's
Well, he has
for
an
Charlotte,
erectile
this is
issue.
like, as you can see in this episode, to her, this is her dream come true. This is the exact man she
Yeah.
pictures herself with.
a doctor.
And their marriage is kind of her trying to just convince herself like that.
Yeah.
The image of it makes up for what's actually
That's why I
going
like
on.
that she ends up with like the schlubby bald guy who
Yeah.
genuinely
It's
loves her
perfect.
and
Yeah.
can fuck. Like that's
Yeah.
It's
Harry.
perfect.
He's
Harry's,
amazing.
Harry's actually
Yeah.
like one of the best guys, I think.
yeah.
Charlotte's
because he's
entire
not on
plot
your
is so
pills or
mean.
anything.
You think?
Yeah, I'll definitely get married first to a hot person.
When
and
I
then
was
to Harry.
on your Tinder
yes,
doing the swipes for you,
yes,
there
Hans.
was a hot bald guy, but I was like, I
Was
don't know
it
how you
Pitbull?
feel about bald guys.
No,
So
but
funny.
Hannah was texting
I
me.
literally
about
yesterday
Pitbull last
sent her a
night.
picture
She was
of
like,
Pitbull.
he is sexy. And I
Pitbull?
was like,
Pitbull.
okay.
Really?
I love everything about him. I think
Really?
he stands for yeah. Yeah.
What does he stand for?
What
What does Pitbull
He's
stand
like
for?
he stands for like confidence.
He stands
stands
for
for
let's take
hard
shots
work.
and have a nice time. And
No, have you
Cancun.
ever like heard him speak?
Let's take shots at this time, but don't let the time waste because the time's running out, and you know the time is what you're
don't
running
know
after.
him at all. He's like a good guy.
I can confidently say I don't know anything about Pitbull.
You should look up like him doing like.
He's just like if the city of Miami coalesced into a person.
No,
Yes.
no, you have him
Yes.
all wrong.
You
I'm so
have him all wrong.
I
have
can't
him
even
all
get into
wrong.
this because we have to talk about the episode and like this would take like 45 minutes. Maybe
Okay,
you stay
okay.
for Chirp and Chirp is
Yeah, you
Pitbull.
guys could stay for
Um,
We're gonna go
dinner.
get diner food.
But no, I do want to say that Charlotte in this episode is the worst type of friend with a boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
Bringing
Oh,
it.
she rubs it in everybody's face.
No, and on the boat, she's like, tell it one more time. The story. I mean, the story is really good. It is a good story. Although when he's telling the story, he said, and I told the cab driver to stop the meter, and it's like, okay, cheap.
Yeah.
Like,
Also,
did you
like-
notice that?
What-
When he
one
said
thing I
stop
don't
the
like-
meter, and then he rushed out to get her.
Right, that's kind of weird. Why would
Yeah.
that?
Why wouldn't you just say stop the car?
Also, like, if you're trying to save this woman, who even thinks like that?
Literally him. That's
Red
Well,
what
yeah,
flag
but
or
happened.
he's like
To
a doctor,
catch
money-minded guy. Like everything is like a possession to acquire
Yeah.
and to boost his
Would
like
you, if
own
I
value
if I
and
got
equity.
if I fell in the road and you were in the car that almost hit me, would you tell the driver to stop the meter?
That's like,
I'd say stop the fucking car.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
Trey's
like,
saying
I
stop
talk
the
like a
meter.
real person.
But then
He's like-
afterwards, if I
he's-
was okay, you would be like,
his character is written to be like this like uppity
Pretty
like
expensive.
mid-Atlantic guy where it's like, and I said, Farnsworth, stop the car.
Yeah.
He said the meter shan't run a second longer. He's like kind of like this uppity, doctor guy.
mhm.
Is
Which-
he a doctor? What's his?
He's a
He's a
doctor.
doctor.
What,
Is he?
what kind of
I-
doctor?
think he's
He's
a
a
doctor.
plastic
You
surgeon.
kept saying that, and I was like, I didn't realize.
I think they said
I
he's
think
a
he's like
doctor.
an ENT or something, right?
No.
EMT? Oh, he was-
ENT.
But your nose is
Oh.
Ears,
right.
nose, and throat.
Oh, that would make sense.
It'd be hotter if he was an EMT.
But that's still a doctor.
Yeah, but then he would be more grounded and he wouldn't be buying like
I know. I'm
hardware
just saying
watches.
that, like, for goals.
Kyle MacLachlan plays like a good like schmucky like
I could see him being a surgeon. Surgeons have like the god complex. They're like
Yeah.
very money minded.
Mhm.
They're like
Dr.
smart, but in
Strange,
like
yes.
one really specific thing.
To me, honestly, the hottest thing about Trey to me is not at all my type of guy. Like, I even think
yeah,
if
he's just good looking.
I don't think he's good looking.
even if he rescued me from in front of a car.
I don't think he's hot.
Okay.
He looks too like.
This is something I took
like
note of.
Talbots.
We need more regular looking attractive people
Like Steve.
back on shows. Like Steve, like Big, like
Okay, wait.
Aiden.
What do you mean? Big is like outstandingly hot.
No.
No, like I'm not talking about like no.
No.
Okay, this is what I mean. Like I'm saying like that needs to be the pinnacle of hot on TV,
What do you mean?
and not like Chris Evans,
Or
Chris
John
Hemsworth,
Hamm or whatever.
John Hamm. Even I'd say that should be like the
Like
pinnacle to reach.
attainable? Is that what we're saying?
I
Or-
think there should be more like normally attractive people. On,
Okay.
like,
You know what? You're right.
Big-
Aiden is like hot to us, but he's not like, if he was walking around, he's a regular Joe.
Like if I saw Big on the street, I'd be like, oh, that's a handsome guy. I wouldn't be like, good lord, that man is beautiful.
TV's
Like
a little
yeah.
too sexy.
Big seems like a guy I would like see on my TV's gotten too sexy.
Yeah.
Save like the beautiful people for the movies. Like
Yeah.
the gorgeous people
Like-
for the movies.
Like our friend Jeffrey Keller.
Jeffrey Keller. Well, I think Jeffrey Keller he's a beautiful man,
Yeah.
but he could do both TV and movies.
That's true.
He has something that grounds him, but he
I
is
really
also
love John
a beautiful
Hamm.
man. Me
He's
too.
hot. He actually
John
does.
Hamm's
He is hot
amazing.
and is like normal guy hot.
Yeah.
I love
He's
him.
like
he has a
everything.
huge
Yeah.
hog.
He does have a huge hog.
Yeah,
You guys
he-
like
he
that?
wears-
That's like a fun fact.
He wears
about him.
capris and like
Oh, I thought you meant
khakis
he
a lot.
actually had like a pig.
No,
Sorry, I
no,
didn't
no,
understand.
no.
Sorry, I didn't
He-
understand.
there's a lot of
I
paparazzi
had no
photos where
idea.
he just has like a
He's
giant dick
he's a
in
farmer.
front.
Yeah.
I
And
am
he's
so
smiling.
Charlotte with
Yeah.
like sex things because
Yeah.
literally last night I was talking to this guy and he was like, I'm having a manly night where I'm feeling a little
This is crazy.
frustrated, and I was like, what are you angry about?
He said this?
Was he also playing
I was
Assassin's
talking
Creed?
to him. I was like, he
No,
was
he
like,
was
I'm
horny.
feeling a little frustrated. I'm having some
didn't
man
get it
frustration.
either.
I know. I was like, oh, what are you angry about?
I'm so
What's
bad
going
at
wrong?
signals though. Like I'm terrible.
Yeah, I
don't
didn't get it
know.
either when
I
you
didn't.
said it.
No, it was very obvious. Apparently, I
Well,
should know just to hope.
If
It's
a
just
guy
like,
on like Tinder was telling me he's having manly like
I need to get off
frustrations,
Tinder.
I'd be like, okay, he wants to fuck.
First of all,
No.
if somebody said they had manly frustrations to me, I would block them because I'm like, that man's about to kill me.
I can't block anyone. I've been blocked so many times.
that's
it's
fair.
too risky.
That's fair.
As the
I just-
blocky.
Yeah.
I
just
can't
be like,
become
alright,
the
go
blocker.
jack off, be a fucking normal guy.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that's something
I
you
kind of got
understand.
roped into a Tinder situation last
Mr.
night because I was getting my nails done, and that's when I go on Tinder, and so
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, whatever.
Oh, your
Next
nails
thing
look
I
good, by the
know,
way.
thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
then they're actually cat eyes, so when they go like this, they shimmer. Did you see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Anyway, so
I didn't get to see this. When you do it
Okay.
facing the light.
um,
There's no way I can't see them at all.
You are a good
Those are
son.
nice.
I can really tell the way you interact with women.
That he's a good
Yeah.
son.
That
That
you're
he's
a very good son.
Thanks.
Yeah. I wish you were my son.
Thank you.
I'm
I
gonna
wish you were
raise
my
my.
mom.
Actually, a lot of people wish that I was their mom.
Yeah.
I feel like
You
that's
seem
a
like you'd be a
normal-
cool mom.
I'm a cool mom.
But not like cool mom, like, oh, you could smoke in the house like cool mom, where it's like you'll be like, hey, don't fucking do that. And
Yeah.
like but say it on like their level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to, when I'm with kids, I like to go to their level and be like, yo, come on.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
talk to them as a person and
Oh
not
god,
like,
I do that all the time where I talk to kids like I would talk to anybody else. He's like, yeah, my homework's pretty hard. I'm like, oh fuck, that sucks. I would do that to my cousins all the time. I'd be like, well, what are you gonna fucking do about this math homework?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really bad. I would get in trouble.
Yeah, you were like
all the
weird
time.
when I used to nanny with the kids.
Yeah, people would just be like,
Well, if Jane's outside smoking a cigarette and then goes to pass it to the kid.
Like, and he's like doing the weird voice with them.
yeah, oh no.
Okay,
the,
we can't
the
get
kid
into
she nanny
voices.
would be like screaming
Do you
at
guys think
NHL.
Miranda is a mean mommy?
What?
That's what they call her, mean mommy.
Oh.
Or she calls herself that.
I think she's stern.
Do you remember
I
that?
I didn't catch
She's
that
like,
at all.
I'm a mean mommy.
Yeah, I know
Oh
what
my
you're
god,
talking
I
about.
was like, what a weird
It's
choice.
after
really weird.
It's after
It's
the
she's
Steve
reflecting on
argument.
it.
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
puppy?
And she's like, I'm mean mommy. I don't want to be
Yeah,
mean mommy.
she's mean.
Yeah.
I think
I think she just has a lot of walls.
Well, I think she has a high stress job and her boyfriend doesn't have any responsibility in life. So she can.
Oh, that's crazy.
When
But
they were
Don't
getting the
listen, don't
dog,
let my unemployed boyfriend weigh in on this matter.
Hey, I have an
when they were
interview
getting the
Monday.
dog,
I know,
I was
tomorrow.
like stinky.
Tomorrow.
No, I think we'll both be the first to admit that we are, Miranda and Steve, like even during the fights, it's like,
Yeah.
it's literally like I've rehearsed this before, like watching the
Yeah, it's
show and now
actually
being in
scary. I
this
really feel
relationship.
like sick when I watch them.
But
on
stinky
TV.
wise, we definitely never didn't get stinky out of like having troubles. But I think we'll be the first to admit that we did not think about what it would be like.
Also,
to have
you were
a dog.
very like hesitant and did not like the dog when you like when we first got him.
Mhm.
You were like, this dog brings me no joy. I don't
Well,
know why I did this.
let's-
And now like you're like
well, 'cause-
spooning
yeah.
with the dog, being like, oh,
Because when we first got the dog, and this is fine because we're cool now, but like it was literally like this episode. Like the dog wakes us both up in the morning. I get out of bed.
I'm a better
I
sleeper.
feed him. I walked him, and I was like, okay, I want a dog or do Wolf and I want a dog? Because if I want a dog, I don't want to get up and
Yeah.
I don't want to be taking care of a dog by myself.
Right.
He's a night
right.
owl.
But he's going to the work factory in the morning.
Yeah.
I just, I like could not. This episode though was really,
Well, Steve
really
works at night. He's
relatable.
a bartender.
That is true. Steve does work at night.
So that was like, I mean, I stopped bartending like maybe a month ago because I was doing that stuff for Call She.
Yeah.
And I had made all this, I haven't like been working because I made all this money working for this sports and election betting company.
Yeah.
And then it all got spent on us moving because like we had to move suddenly because the
Yeah.
mold was bad. But,
Yeah.
And they got spent on Stinky.
oh yeah, Stinky's a
Stinky
he's
in
just
this new
fucking-
apartment
He's a
has
money suck.
taken a toll
Yeah.
on Wolf.
Yeah.
Not me.
Did I remember when I got that text that he ate Wolfgang's glasses, and I was just like, man.
Well,
oh,
that
man.
was actually the first time we almost, and we won't talk about this any longer, but like, because not really interesting as I'm about to say it. That was like, we both decided we weren't going to adopt Stinky.
Yeah.
He had like a freak out. We were like, he's destroyed all our stuff. We're spending
He had
a lot of money on him.
$500 pair of
And this was
glasses.
when we were still fostering him. We were
Didn't
like,
he eat your AirPods too?
Yeah.
sorry.
This dog's awesome. I love Stinky.
He ate.
He's just
He
like-
also ate like he didn't eat the
No.
discs, but he ate Fallout and Red Dead Redemption too.
But anyway, we can't like, it's like,
Boxes
just
for-
give you a podcast of like listing what Stinky's destroyed.
Okay.
I don't know if that's fun.
So wait, so you do feel like Miranda's not being mean? You don't feel like Miranda's being mean, mommy?
I think
Not
she's
at all.
having a moment. I
Okay.
don't think she's being mean mommy. I think
Okay.
that she's very frustrated because she's got good things going on in her own life and then
Mhm.
bad things going on behind the scenes, and it's just like, yeah, if
And I think long term, it is good for Miranda to have Steve, who
It
is
is,
a guy
yeah.
who's like calm and like funny and chill because
Yeah.
like she takes herself very
His
seriously.
arms and-
also
And
Miranda
like-
should be fucking women.
But I think in this episode, well, we get there.
Yeah.
You just have like 20 more
Yeah.
years first. But I feel like in this episode, like it has to be stressful to be have such an intense job, such an important job, and then you come home and it's like your second job starts. Like she has to go home and he like won't listen to her, doesn't talk to her, doesn't help out around the house, and then it's like, let's get a dog.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we know what happens with them, and then we know what eventually happens with them. But I think they needed to break up at this moment.
His arms were crazy though.
The
The arms were insane.
When I saw that, I was on the phone with
Oh.
Sandra being like, I get why women love Steve now.
Who is she like? Like, who's her guy of choice? Does she love Steve too?
Noah.
She loves Steve.
Obviously.
She loves Steve. I think she's told me, she's like, you remind me of Steve.
That's
It's the
nice.
glasses.
It's the glasses and my kind eyes. And how I kind of talk like this sometimes.
His voice is nuts.
His voice is crazy.
Like,
Well,
their
it's
breakup
deaf.
scene.
He's partially deaf.
Oh, he's partially deaf?
I think
The
I
actor?
might be making this up, but I'm pretty sure I'm not.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, he has like
Really?
he has an issue.
He is a
with
bad
his-
listener, I'll say that.
Oh,
I thought he just had a really thick New York accent.
he might. Let me
definitely
double
does.
check that fact.
Yeah.
I heard somewhere that he's deaf.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of lore dump.
I think he's
Is this
deaf.
your fun fact of the day?
The fun fact has not been fact checked. My fun fact might be false. I
already
felt
threw
like
my fun
it
facts
was
in.
such a
Scooby-Doo.
serious breakup though between them in this episode.
Yeah.
And I couldn't
Yeah.
take it serious. There's good stuff here. I was
Yeah.
like,
No,
like if I
I...
was breaking up with someone and they said that to me, I'd be like, I'm definitely.
Would
okay
you
with
date
this.
someone with that type of accent?
It's actually been a topic in our house.
Because I went out with someone
I don't
with
think
a
I'd care.
really,
I'd get
really
over
strong lisp.
Yeah.
And look, you know what? Actually, I'm not gonna go there.
Hannah told me
No, go there.
Hannah
but
told
it
me
was,
my
like,
voice was
really
too high.
strong.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not that I don't want. It just was hard to understand him a little bit.
Yeah. You have to...
It was really thick.
Yeah.
But you really didn't know until you get there.
Yeah.
And then it's like, am I a bad person?
My friend's dad had a really bad lateral lisp. Like he
What's
would
a
talk,
lateral?
like when you talk like this,
Oh my
like
God.
he's in the corner of your mouth.
Oh my god.
And he would like do bits on it. Like he like knew he had.
That's
it.
the best way to do it.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
he grew up with it. Like you get fucking, but he was also like a big guy. So he like if people made fun of me, he's like, "Oh, cool, I'll beat the shit out of you."
Well, with a lisp though,
It's a Joe
can't
Rogan
you get
technique.
that kind
Yeah.
of fixed through speech therapy? Sorry, I shouldn't even go here. You can kind of get it fixed a little
Yeah,
bit.
the kid I used to know was in speech therapy. For
Would it be
us.
hilarious if I beat you to death?
Yeah.
I hate that, but that's cool that he kind of owned
I'm
his
kind of
list.
having a tough time.
What?
No, not that. I just like really want to talk about that.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
go,
sorry.
go,
I will say, who plays Miranda?
go.
Cynthia Nixon.
Cynthia Nixon. Great performance in the breakup scene. Like you can just tell how exhausted she is.
She's really, really good actor.
She's a really good actor. I wish she was in more
And I
stuff.
kind
I
of-
wish she was
I
our
just
governor.
really felt
Yeah.
like
I voted for her.
That's actually something I wanted to say about the show that I don't like about it is that the
About
voice.
her or the
No,
show?
no, she's great. No, I hate the thing that Carrie does where she explains the paraphrase and the subtext of what people are saying. Because good acting is like assigning when you're like building a character and like
Wait, but I don't
rehearsing
think
your lines.
Carrie is a bad. I
No,
don't
no,
think
no,
she's
but
a bad
I- no, no.
actress. I think
You're
Carrie's
talking
great.
more about
I'm
the
just
writing
saying
of the show.
The writing of the
Yeah.
show, like, because like good acting technique, you as an actor assign paraphrases to what you're saying. Like there's the words you're saying, and then there's the word behind the words.
Yeah.
And not when you spoon feed what the hidden meaning is to the audience, it kind of takes away from the moment.
Yeah.
Because like the beauty of building a character is that like you have this subtext and inner life that you're working on as you build the character, and like it's conveyed easily. Like you understand when somebody's just like, oh, okay, like what they're really saying when they say it. They're not saying, oh, okay, they're saying like, sure, yeah, right.
When she's like,
yeah.
Charlotte wasn't happy.
Charlotte
about that.
wasn't happy.
Yeah.
What she actually said was that, and it just feels like you're spoon feeding something to me that I already got, and it takes
Well, I
away
feel
from
like
it.
the whole show is.
It's the gimmick of the show.
No. The whole show is each episode is half her blog, like half what her column is,
Okay.
Yeah.
and then half like what's actually happening.
Mhm.
So I feel like sometimes this, what to you feels like spoon feeding, is just like, oh, if you were to be reading her column, this is what you'd
Yeah.
be reading, because these people are not in their lives.
Oh,
Yeah.
also, if you're
That's like
fucking-
how you get the question in
Okay.
each episode.
if you're a columnist, why are you going to pick up your dry cleaning at like midnight?
No, the dry cleaning storyline was killing me. It was like the middle
It's
of the
like all your-
night.
Yeah, it's like,
She
oh,
had martinis during the day, but she couldn't pick up her dry
It-
cleaning.
you're a columnist. You have so much time to do shit.
And I
Yeah.
always forget that they want. Carrie's supposed to be someone we don't love, but like sometimes they make like her, it's like just so infuriating.
Yeah.
Like we know she does nothing all the
I
time.
love
Yeah.
her purple outfit.
With the tights and
Yeah, I
everything.
love
Oh, I like that
I
outfit.
like that.
That was the most Bushwick outfit I've ever seen because it was a
Yeah.
purple tights, skirt, volleyball jumper.
Yes, that
Yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah.
And her little kitten heels.
Also, her boat dress, most boat dress I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I thought it was like the least Carrie
What makes her
dress.
a
Yeah.
boat- What makes it a boat
Just the long
dress?
flowy, the top knot
navy.
on it, the navy. It's like there's the like it almost
so
looks like she has a
boating.
sweater tied around her,
Like,
but
I'd
instead
love
it's
to
part
know
of the
what was
dress.
at the dry cleaning because this was perfect.
Yeah, that was a way better dress
She
than
didn't
anything
seem
she did.
surprised to see Big. Did you notice that? Her acting was really off.
I also
Like, she
felt
was just
like
kind of like, oh, hey.
I just feel like she like is so I don't know. Big in this episode sucked. Like he was like worst guy ever.
Really, I was like, I really wish people would leave me voicemail messages.
Would you like you wish a
I
guy?
was like,
imagine
I
you
was
have a
like,
guy
oh.
here and the guy, some guy who like goes.
No,
to
that
you
was
and
very.
got
That was
married.
very.
I loved the
unhinged.
voicemail.
Yeah.
Very.
I
Sure.
literally wrote
Yes,
it. Okay, I
okay.
wish people would still leave voicemails
Don't
like
talk
that. I
about
miss
Wait,
you.
what
Don't
did he
talk
say
about
it
him.
again? Remind
Just
me.
like, I
Name
guess I
drop
just,
people.
I miss you.
And what does he say at the end of the door?
He's so
like,
epic.
I'm so fucked up.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so fucked up. I loved all that chaos.
Really?
I loved
It's
it.
nice to see from him.
No,
Yeah.
but I think
I know
that's.
you don't watch the whole show, but like Carrie is always drunk at Big's door,
Yeah.
like having a
Yeah, it's a
spiral.
reversal. It like
I
comes
would have
full circle.
loved
That's why
to
it's
be Carrie in that
so.
moment.
That the
Boyfriend's
vindication
going
is
doing
what.
an errand. Big comes back.
Yeah.
Wants you.
Wait,
you're
and
like, fuck
also
you,
it was a
bye.
little weird. Why wasn't Aiden back yet?
Yeah, that was weird.
It kind
Was
of
he out grabbing? Was he getting food?
coffee filters.
Oh, maybe I've been out at the bodega and then been like
Smash
oh,
cut. Aiden's just making out with a random woman. He's on the street.
No, Aiden would never.
I will say I am
He's the
glad
best
that
guy.
they didn't write Aiden was on the boat with her because there's nothing that stresses me out more than like my ex is here I need to I need to keep them
Especially
separate or like
Carrie.
yeah
Carrie's not cool. That's
I hate those episodes where it's like I need to keep these two people separate otherwise they'll meet and it's just like
Yeah.
just have them interact.
Right.
Yeah.
Him being on the boat in general was kind of weird, though.
And he was like, I thought you'd be here. It's like, he's so annoying. Like, Carrie was dying to be with you. Like, the two of them are so toxic. Like,
Yeah.
she's nuts
But
when
some
they're
people
together.
like toxic.
He's nuts. I mean, yeah, the whole show we learned that, like, Carrie would rather be in something like this with all the drama than something stable. That's like what
Because
we're...
she's boring.
No, because
Yeah.
she's like has like a misunderstanding of what a real relationship, what a healthy relationship feels like.
I think she does use people to get excitement in her life.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because like she used like I mean
She's
she
not
uses
doing much all that.
no, she uses her
She's
friends'
boring.
stories for her columns.
Yeah.
And like she uses Big to like add excitement to her life.
She honestly
She's fucking-
sounds like a comedian.
Yeah, kind
She get her
of.
on
Well,
stage.
she is. She's a writer. Like
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
just a storyteller. Also, do her friend like? Does it ever come up where it's like, hey, don't fucking write about us?
It
Yeah.
never comes up.
It never
Oh.
comes up. Yeah, because if I was going through what I thought was menopause and my friend wrote about it,
Yeah.
I would probably
I like
be a
talking
little
about everything
upset.
he's going through on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great. It's good to
going
know.
on here.
Like you have to start listening.
Yeah.
You might like it. You might be like, what a fun narrative to view it through.
Mhm.
That's probably what the girls feel.
I forgot I wrote
It's
this
funny
down.
when she was like, "Guys, I have something to confess. I'm older," and I was like,
The girls
That's the
could not
joke.
have been less like nice about that.
Yeah.
They kind of just
The
like looked
menopause?
around.
"It's also like
we
no
know.
shit."
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I feel like they could have been if you
I was very me-coded when she did that.
if
I was
you
like,
felt the
all right,
need
guys,
to tell
I'm
me
a little
you're
older. Yeah.
Like obviously I know you're older than me, but like
Yeah.
well because like we know each other's ages. But like
Yeah.
if I didn't know, I don't think if you said to me, I wouldn't be like looking around.
Yeah.
I'd be like, stop, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been a girl's girl about it.
Right.
Not those three rubbing the tampons in her face.
Mhm.
Also,
Mhm.
Crazy Carrie has 3 tampons on her at a time.
That is
Is that
really
too many?
nuts. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
you're lucky if I leave the house with a tampon on my period.
I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah,
Let
that's a
alone
lot.
3.
It's a lot to have on you.
Okay.
That's
I
kinda
don't
like
mean
a whole
I
day
don't
of
need
tampons.
tampons anymore.
She
I
needs like a
sound so
bandolier.
like-
with, like, six buttons
It
in
sounds like you're
like a
you're working
bandito.
my
Yeah.
boss. No, I don't.
No,
I'm
I
not
don't
going.
need them anymore.
I hope
Well, no,
somebody
I have an
appreciates
IUD,
that.
so I
appreciate.
You don't need them anymore. I have an IUD and I still. Is it
Sometimes I
inside
shake
of you?
it up like a magic 8 ball. Her IUD.
How many
in the
times on
room.
this podcast do I have to tell you?
Are we
they
gonna
don't
have
fit
sex?
in me?
Ow!
Oh my God, wait a minute.
I've told you multiple times. Every time you bring up IUD, you say you gotta get the one I'm on, and then I tell you again
You don't
that
have
I
my memory,
try.
actually.
I know, but I gotta.
I don't remember that at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I literally tried to get an IUD in me, and they were like, it's too small. We don't want to stretch your uterus for the IUD, and that's why I have the one in my arm.
I'm so sorry. I won't bring up mine right now anymore.
It's okay. I'm just like I'm jealous. Like
Okay.
I tried to get that.
It was really good. Okay.
Oh, I hate how into fate Carrie is.
Into what?
Fate.
Mm.
Because
She's
like
wait, how?
they're kind of talking about like the light rule and like all that stuff, and she's like, is everything just fate? And it's like I think fate is so fucking boring. Because if a weird coincidence happens, that's exciting because it's like, oh, all these things had to like happen for like 2 people to meet at this place at this time just by chance. Whereas if fate sets it up, it's like, oh, it was bound to happen, so
Yeah.
it just happened. That's so fucking boring. I think people that are like, well, everything that happens is already set in stone.
It'd
No,
be fun
Carrie, you sucked this episode.
Yeah.
I did not like
She
this
was-
episode.
she
It would be
was
fun
the
to
worst
attach fate to
episode.
like bad things because people always like put it in good connotations. Like,
Well, they
no
do.
matter
They
what.
do. They're like, oh, everything happens for a
Nobody's
reason.
ever like 9/11 was fate. They're never like anything like that.
They've been holding back that brave opinion.
It was fate. I mean, the Taliban might have said that, but
Okay.
All right, let's get
We
back
have
to
like 10 minutes left.
the kitty's asleep.
Aww.
Aww.
All the 9/11 talk just lulled
I
her to
know.
sleep.
She's used to
She is
it.
used to it.
We love 9/11 in here. Sorry.
I'm already
Whoa,
going.
whoa, whoa. Let's back it up. That's not what I meant.
Okay, so the episode.
Look who has their foot in their mouth now.
How does
That
it
means-
feel?
We don't love
And
9/11 here.
me.
We talk about it.
We do
sometimes.
talk about it
Sorry
a
if we
lot.
talk about current events and past
Yeah.
events and history.
How-
So the episode ends though
Okay.
with Miranda and Steve breaking up.
Yes.
And I think that I actually forgot how quickly they get together and break up. Like it's
Do they not get together again?
Yeah, it was a really kind of like it,
It was
felt very
jarring.
rushed
Yeah.
as a breakup, like in the grand scheme of things. When
There's
we
no,
see
second
it.
one.
in the grand scheme of also like the last episode to this
Mhm.
episode, like last episode it was like she's so happy to be in this. Like
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
like consistency, whatever.
Yeah.
And then this one, like they must have been having so many troubles that like this
But
dog fight.
And I know this isn't true because it was on HBO when this aired, but like, I just felt like they were trying to get in a breakup before the commercial break. It just like kind of was like, but.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I don't know.
But I also feel like I did, especially her like making partner the next day.
Mhm.
It does really paint a picture of how like she right now her main focus is her job. Like,
Mhm.
but Steve like wants to kind of goof around, but also randomly have a kid and like a puppy.
Yeah.
It's so
Him bringing up the kid was out of
That's
nowhere.
insane.
that. See
How
the
long
child.
have they been together?
At this point, it's like been a few months. They'd been together before.
But I think
They'd
it,
broken up. They got back together.
How-
Kind of rushed moving in.
See,
How long were they together? Sorry, I didn't
So,
mean to
no,
interrupt
go.
you. How long were they together before they broke up the first time?
I don't remember.
Like a year?
Maybe. No, they haven't been
a
together
little
for a
under.
year.
They like haven't made it.
We have to watch this.
oh,
That's
God. I remember
crazy.
Hannah made me watch the episode where she meets Steve.
Yeah.
Like,
Because that was so us. Because like I'm
Yeah.
so Miranda in the beginning when like Steve is like lighten up, have fun. Like I like you. You don't need to be so crazy
Yeah.
about this. And she's like, there's
Miranda,
rules, and I know how you play this. Or whatever.
Come on, let's get a new bed,
It's like not even close to his voice.
I don't care.
I don't
I
care.
don't care.
I do what I want. But yeah, that's how we do impressions of Stinky.
That's what Stinky does when like he's being brave. He goes,
You guys gotta see that.
Really? Does he really do that?
yeah, we would spray like him like a cat when he was misbehaving. That's the first way we tried to train him, and he turned it into a game. So he'd be,
and now we do it.
and now we do it at each other.
But I don't remember what I was
Seeing
saying about
kids
the-
screaming at a restaurant wouldn't make me be like, I really want to have a baby.
But it was a
Yeah.
baby crying. It wasn't like a kid screaming. Like a baby crying is one thing, but like a kid screaming is like a level above it.
Yeah.
But I
Like,
do
where
feel
it's
like
just
they
like,
have
God.
Miranda and Steve are like the two far opposite opinions. Like Miranda's like they shouldn't be allowed
Like,
in restaurants,
yeah.
and Steve's like we should have one of our own.
Because like
Yeah.
what
I feel
if
like there's a normal human middle ground of
Yeah.
like I wish the baby wasn't crying in my ear, but we
yeah, because a
don't
baby's
need to-
annoying, but like with toddlers, like that kid when we were walking here, God, what a dork.
That kid was worse.
What
was that
was
kid
worse.
doing?
This kid was just, he had like a cool, like kind of looking dad who looked, he looked like a guy that went to like a Strokes concert or something back
Yeah.
in the day. And the kid was like, yeah, and I'm like really fucking good. I usually win sudden death all the time.
And the
It's
dad,
just,
like, wasn't looking at him at
looking
all.
at his phone.
I kind of feel
It
like
was
that's what I would do if I like had an uncool kid. I'd be like, we're just gonna get through this phase.
Yeah.
Of, like
So I was
uncoolness.
just, so I was just trying
I don't
to
think
tell
I'd bring
him
my
about
kid though
Fortnite.
to like a sit down ramen bar like that. That just doesn't. The restaurant they were at just didn't seem
Yeah, like a
place
hibachi
where
place.
Kids
Yeah.
go.
Well, there's
Like,
also like with the way the setup is, if like you pay attention to the couple, it's sort of like the epitomization of Miranda's fears, where it's like the dad in that couple is like having the ramen and enjoying himself, and the mom is just like freaking out when
Well, I
they're
kind of
gonna
feel
be
like that's
saddled
what
with the
Miranda.
responsibility.
I mean, eventually Steve like does like
Step up.
man up, but
Yeah.
like I feel like at this moment that causes like more of a reaction from her because she is aware like if we get a dog, if we
Yeah.
have a baby right now, it's like am I ready to do this because I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Steve's
do
very
it well.
lackadaisical.
He's like not to him. It's just gonna be the fun part. It's like he's not ready to step up.
What
Yeah.
happens
Also-
to the dog? I don't remember seeing the dog.
They put it down.
No.
They
stop.
do that shit in shows though, where they'll introduce it. But they did in King of Queens. They introduce a dog like it's gonna be a central character.
Yeah, the dog.
They just get rid of it.
Yeah.
We don't see the dog.
Yeah.
It's so much work to have an animal on your show.
Yeah.
We
Like-
see Elizabeth.
Oh, she gives it to the mean people.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
that makes
see
sense.
what's her Elizabeth? I was supposed to say Elizabeth Warren's journey.
No, but remember when
No,
she
what's
gets
her-
the yappy dog and then she gives it to the mean couple? So they can
yes,
yell about
yes,
that?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then also Charlotte in the new series, like all of them have pets.
Yeah.
Charlotte has that big bull.
And Charlotte has a
has a big
non-binary
boy.
child too.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did you watch that with me?
Yeah, you made me watch all that with you.
There's no way I did. You like to like paint these
Guys always like to
phrases.
say they were forced to watch Sex and the City, but it's like they were like my girlfriend made me, but it's like did she?
No, I like
Did
watching
she?
shows.
It's-
No, there's some stuff we watched together. I mean,
I
but
feel
that was
like-
like a thing where it was like a thing
No,
where
I feel like you would come over like later after something, and I would just already be watching stuff. And
No, you would pull up episodes because there was it revolved a lot around it where you were just explaining how like cringe the like stand up Che arc was.
Oh, and I did want to show you
And
that.
like, because they did film at like that club that I used to go to all the time.
What was
My
it,
friend
All
was at that
All the
filming.
Hustle, yeah.
Oh,
That's
she played,
so crazy.
She played lesbian audience member number 4.
Huge.
Incredible.
Huge.
Very good for her.
It's amazing.
All right, we have
She
about
had to listen to that set
like 20
30
times.
I had to do that for a pilot where like I was
Um,
an audience member and like
uh-huh.
it's so annoying, like, and you have to do these fake laughs. The first time you watch the set,
They
if
should
it's
just
an actual
record the
comic-
laughter once and let the audience
Yeah,
just
but
sit there
Che's set
smiling.
was really. Che's was
Oh, it's
like it was
really bad.
Really,
Really
bad.
Really, I watched that. I remember watching that with Sandra and being like, man, they couldn't have had like any comics
This is
come on and
bad.
like
Literally
write shit
happened.
for her.
This is bad.
It is,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
like-
even like funny shit. It's just like she's making fun of an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like up there with like those like fake stand
Or
up.
sorry, they are making fun of an ex-girlfriend.
Right.
They
Yeah.
know.
Which is also like, it wasn't even good.
Like those
if
Rocket
you're-
Money commercials.
Sorry, it happens all the time.
All right. Anyway, we
It's
already
just-
only have
yeah.
like a couple minutes left.
It's just
Oh.
all the time. No, it's like constant.
They do these
spells.
fake Rocket Money commercials where it's a guy doing like fake crowd
Yeah, I've
work. It's
seen
like,
those.
hey, anybody have any kids? Yeah,
That was
it's
what
kinda
Che
like having-
was.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
It's kinda like
supposed to be bad.
figuring out you have 14 subscriptions or whatever.
Yeah.
and
But
it's
people
just
are
like-
losing. Also, so funny that it was that old man hustle.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a couple
They
minutes
needed the
left.
money.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to say about the episode?
Or like women or
Favorite-
dating
or about women.
Women
just, like,
pretty goated.
Mm-hmm.
I would put women S tier. I was gonna put them A tier, but they're S tier.
Thank you. Anything from you,
Nice.
Noah?
Okay.
That's the highest rating in Japanese culture.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Thank you.
About women specifically, or about the women in the show?
About the episode,
maybe a
ideally.
mix.
I think I wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
What did I write down? I wrote down.
Oh, so many notes.
I wrote down
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Carrie, make a goddamn decision.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Because you'll see that
She loves drama.
she
Yeah.
goes to ruin Aiden's life through her
Oh,
inability of
also,
Yeah.
side note about Aiden,
Yeah.
if you want to watch him even hotter than he is in the show,
Yes.
Northern Exposure.
What's that?
It
Is
was
it
a
new?
it was a show. No. It came out in the 90s.
Because I thought Aiden's hot to me from is it
I
My Big
love
Fat
him.
Greek Wedding?
Yeah.
Yes.
No. You haven't even seen how hot Aiden is. I'll show you a picture of him after the
Really?
show.
Yeah.
He might be the most like attractive man on earth in
Yeah.
this show. Yeah.
Agreed.
Mm.
He's really
He's really
hot.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Watch
I
that
love his
privately.
clothes too.
He's a good looking
Yeah,
guy. He has like stubble and beards in the show,
Yeah.
and it changes from episode to episode.
He's
he
like
looks
the
great.
classic Brooklyn guy who like randomly has a wood shop.
And him with the
You
dog
know.
is
He's a guy with an actual past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't
He's
just
got
have
his
like
own
rich
life, his own
parents
stuff.
and are paying.
He's
He's
like-
like he's dog walks. Is that his job? Is he a dog walker?
He's not a dog
No,
walker.
he's
That's his.
designs-
Oh yeah,
designs
he designs furniture.
He
Yeah,
has
that's
a
right.
dog.
He has a dog.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really he's hot all around.
He's hot.
Yeah.
Do you have anything
I
else you
love
want to
him.
say?
I have something I want to say.
What do you
About
want to say?
what?
Wolf?
Sometimes when I watch the Miranda Steve bits in the show, it makes me scared that you're psyoping me.
Meaning,
Yeah, it fits
what do
very
you mean
well
by
in my life.
psyoping?
Like you've conditioned me to be your Steve. Like I don't even know if I'm this guy, but I'm because it's just like it feels scripted. Some of the things.
I could
Because
say,
you're
I
a
could
lawyer
say
and he's a
something.
bartender.
I
No,
could
no,
say
but,
something
like-
really mean right now, but I'm not going
Okay,
to.
I'm not saying something mean. I'm just saying like it's
does
like
feel
it feels because we'll have like these things that happen in our lives, and then I'll watch the episode later on, and it's like an exact thing that we've already had.
Well, yeah,
happen.
but I feel like most of those things happened before I started rewatching the
Yeah,
show.
it is a big coincidence.
It's been kind of shocking.
The same
to me,
thing happens
actually.
with me and Charlotte, where like the plot line of Charlotte
Maybe it's
is
just the
literally
writing.
my
It's
life.
just very relatable and speaks to real life.
I mean,
It
as
really
someone
does.
who was single in New York for a long time, like
Yeah.
this is a lot of what it feels.
Well, it's also a show. It's written by, I'm assuming, women.
No,
Yeah.
gay man.
It's written by a gay man.
Darren
Well,
Star.
it's based off of Candace Bushnell was like the real life Carrie Bradshaw. It had a real column,
Oh, okay.
and then a gay man took the mix of her stories and then adapted to be a TV
Oh.
show.
It's written because I know I've been Steve.
Really?
Mhm.
I know for a fact I have been Steve. And I'm like, wow, they
It
get
is
it
based
right.
in like the New York
Yeah.
hetero relationship experience.
Yeah.
Do you
for
feel
sure.
like the
It
women
pushed the age
are
of
girls
marriage
that
back
you know?
for sure.
I feel like they have way better jobs than like a lot of. I mean, like a lot of the women I date. I mean, like some of them have been like teachers and like have like high paying jobs at like companies. I think the women are more like early 2000s version of them, where it's like just different ways of like speaking and like talking
Yeah.
about stuff.
I think it's interesting because like when you're in your 30s, like 32, 34,
Yeah.
you can date people and it's like they're still 27.
Yeah.
And other people are like the partner in the law firm.
Yes.
Like it's so crazy. Like like in the work world, like I'll be around people who are my age who are like my boss.
Oh.
But then in
Yeah.
comedy, there's like a 34-year-old who's like kind of running around and being crazy.
yeah.
Dan
Like, is
Synder
on an
has this
improv
joke
team.
where he's like talking about seeing the little fight-eye kids that are in their 20s in their suits, and it's like, oh, look at you, you're so cute in your little suits.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's the reason why I can't buy a house.
Yeah.
That kid, it's like children.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it very much represents New York men,
Yeah.
I think, in a perfect way.
Yeah.
Like aren't Trey and Steve like the same age?
I don't think
Trey
so.
might be like in his 40s in that.
It feels like Steve is a little younger than Miranda.
Yeah, I
Like
think.
I feel like if like all the girls are say like 30,
I would say like a better
30,
comparison is that Big and Aiden are around the same age probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like Trey is somewhere in between. I feel like Steve's a little younger than all the guys.
But I do think that is very true to guys. Is that
because Steve also has like a real arc of like being a bartender and then getting into business and owning a bar,
Yeah.
which feels like not a later in life. It
Yeah.
feels like a younger to growing up.
I've always
Does that happen
like
in the
being
show or does
a-
that happen after?
Which part?
The buying the bar and owning and running.
Buying the bar, and that happens at the end of the series, right? And then
I
it
think so,
picks up
yeah.
in the movies and then
Oh,
it follows
okay.
through.
He goes to Coney Island and has.
Does Miranda start dating women during the series, or does that happen in the movies?
In the new
or in
show.
the new show?
New show.
It's
Oh,
a new
okay,
show.
okay.
New show.
There was something I noticed, and I don't know if they did it intentionally in the series or if they even knew that she was going to come out as a lesbian in the new show. But I noticed that in the original series, she's wearing very muted, dark colors, like grays and blacks, and then in the new series, she wears like very flamboyant colors, like a lot of like yellows and like pastels and blues. And I was wondering if
Yeah,
that's
they ever dress like the man in the yellow hat in some episodes.
yeah, like she wears like these like very like bright colored outfits, and I was wondering if that's like them in the original series being like, oh, we like she's kind of like a high profile like lawyer, let's just like this, or if that's being like, oh, she doesn't know who she is and she's a closeted gay woman, and now that she's out in the new series, she's like letting her personality
herself
come
out a
out
little
and
bit.
letting the colors
I mean,
come
I
out.
feel like also within the show, like she's works at a law firm that's like it's mostly men. She says all the time that she's the only woman.
Yeah.
So there probably is a lot of like not being her true self and just trying to like
Yeah.
fit in at the firm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which now like she's working at like she's working with lawyers, but
When
it's like a
she-
much more
At
chill.
Goldberg
When
Goldberg.
she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they really do her dirty and just like that.
Yeah.
Like they really like destroy
Yeah.
her career, her self confidence. She's like sleeping in like a little boy's room or something, or like
I've
you
only
remember
seen the
that?
second. I've only seen the second
they like
season.
she goes from this high powered lawyer to
Yeah.
like this very confused, disheveled lady.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, they also made
That's
them
kinda true
do
to
a
real life,
Chipotle
though.
ad in the
What?
second
What?
season.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't think about it, but like, because it's like people have these goals and then we achieve our goals.
Yeah.
But like when you look into like the people's lives and the way things turn out and end in history, like there's like a lot of tragic endings people meet.
I don't think this is a
not
tragic
like-
ending. I think this is more true to when you have goals like I want to be successful in my career, have children, and get married. Then you do that, and then you're like, oh, is this it?
Yeah.
Like, I kind of feel like that's what more happened to her, but I don't think they're sticking to like the powerful, confident woman she
Yeah.
was in her new life. They're
Right.
making
Yeah.
her really messy.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is true that you can do it in a messy way.
Yeah.
But this is, I know, but
That
this
doesn't
is a
stay true to the character.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like a person who we all like loved for who the character was.
Yeah.
And now they're making like her the Carrie of the show, and no one wants Miranda to be the Carrie.
Yeah.
Did you guys vote
You
for
guys took Luke
for governor?
Skywalker from us. We took care.
I think I
of him.
moved here after she was.
Oh, really?
I don't think I
yeah.
voted.
Did she run against Eric Adams?
No, she ran against Cuomo.
Wait,
Yeah.
Cynthia
Cynthia
Nixon?
She ran for
Mayor?
governor.
Yeah.
Or from
Governor. Mayor?
Governor?
Which one?
She ran for governor.
Oh, then that was against Hochul.
she lost a gubernatorial race.
I
Because
thought she
Cuomo
was-
was
no.
mayor.
I think maybe she ran.
I think
for
she ran for
mayor.
mayor. Yeah.
I don't
Did she?
remember. I remember.
I
Because
thought
her
it
platform was.
I thought it was her v. Cuomo. Maybe I'm mixing.
Because
it
her
up.
platform was like legalize weed, get anybody who's in jail for like
Yeah.
non-violent offenses out.
Yeah. Because I
Um,
remember talking with people later and being like, it could have been Cynthia Nixon doing
Yeah.
the Cuomo Daily during COVID.
yeah.
Did you guys watch that? Were
No.
you guys here during COVID?
No, I was living at home and then like in DC, like right as like COVID was starting to end.
Oh, I probably saw you
I was in
then.
the
Oh,
woods.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Anyways.
living out in the woods.
Yeah.
With Aiden?
Yeah.
Same
God, I
here.
would love to. I would love. I don't know if. I think Aiden would put up with me, but I don't know if he'd like me. I think he'd be accepting of me because he seems like a very accepting
I
guy.
would do everything to make it.
Yeah, we haven't seen like none of these guys. I know the point is the girls are the stars, but like we haven't seen any of these guys like friends.
I would like quit
Yeah.
smoking for Aiden. I mean, I don't really smoke anymore, but I'm just like, I understand why
Yeah.
Gary like goes the distance.
I know I'd be friends with Steve. I know for a
Yeah.
fact me and Steve
We'd
would get
all
along
Steve would be
great.
here right now.
But
Becky, part of the group.
Aiden seems
With
like
those
he's
arms?
a very.
Mhm.
Aiden seems like he has like a very like. He has maybe like 2 or 3 guys that he keeps in like decent touch with. Like he'll call maybe like once every other week. But it seems like he's very like
Solo.
Solitary.
solo. He's like, yeah, I kind of just like doing my own thing.
He's like,
Yeah.
I design my furniture.
Yeah.
Spend a couple nights.
He's
at
a man of
Carrie's.
the community.
He's a man of the
for sure.
community. He seems like he knows everybody on his block, and he'll stop to talk to you, but you don't really know him all that well past that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a woman of the community. So
you're a
I
woman
get
of
it.
the community.
Huge community builder
Yeah.
here.
I'm a huge community builder.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you
welcome.
so
Thanks
much.
for
Can
having
you
us.
tell everyone where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Noah_Snyder or somewhere on, I think Noah_Snyder5 on TikTok, if that's even going to be around by the
Got
time
like
this
another
airs.
week or so.
Yeah, the 19th.
You can watch me on season 2 of Tires. I'm on Tires on Netflix. You can watch me there. I'm gonna start doing that as a credit at comedy clubs. Like, this guy was in Tires.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
This was so much fun.
Thank you,
Did I tell you
Noah.
This is amazing.
Wait, we didn't know.
Okay,
after.
bye everybody. I'll tell Noah
All
to
All
sing
right,
and you
shout
guys
out
can
to
hear
Becky
it.
Hermenze. Shout out to
Thank you,
Sean
Becky
Charlie.
Hermenze.
I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.